The Ultimate Sacrifice and the Eternal Victory, a documentary of the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. The narrative of Jesus Christ's crucifixion and resurrection stands as the most consequential event in human history for billions of people. It is a story that transitions from the depths of human suffering and political intrigue to a transcendent display of divine power. This documentary account explores the historical, physical, and spiritual dimensions of these events as recorded in the four Gospels and understood through theological reflection. Part 1. The Road to Golgotha. The journey to the cross began in the shadows of the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus was betrayed by Judas Iscariot. Following a series of illegal night trials before the Sanhedrin and a formal appearance before the Roman governor Pontius Pilate, Jesus was sentenced to death by crucifixion, a punishment reserved for the lowest of criminals and rebels in the Roman Empire. The scourging and mockery. Before the crucifixion, Jesus was subjected to Roman scourging, a brutal lashing with a flagrum designed to weaken the victim. He was mocked by Roman soldiers, who placed a crown of thorns on his head and a purple robe on his shoulders, deriding his claim to be the King of the Jews. The way of the cross. Weakened by the scourging, Jesus was forced to carry the crossbeam toward the execution site. When he could no longer bear the weight, the soldiers compelled Simon of Cyrene to carry it for him. The destination was Golgotha, the place of the skull, located just outside the city walls of Jerusalem. Part 2. The Crucifixion. At approximately 9 in the morning, Jesus was nailed to the cross. This method of execution was designed not only to kill but to humiliate and cause maximum prolonged agony. The 7 sayings from the cross. As he hung between 2 thieves, Jesus spoke 7 times, revealing his heart even in the midst of excruciating pain. First, forgiveness. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Second, salvation. To the repentant thief, truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. Third, relationship. To his mother and John, woman, here is your son, and here is your mother. Fourth, anguish. My God, why have you forsaken me? Fifth, humanity. I am thirsty. Sixth, victory. It is finished. Seventh, surrender. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. The darkness and the veil. From noon until 3 in the afternoon, a supernatural darkness covered the land. At the moment of Jesus' death, the massive curtain in the temple, which separated the Holy of Holies from the people, was torn in 2 from top to bottom. This symbolized that the barrier between God and humanity had been removed through his sacrifice. Part 3. The Silent Sabbath. Jesus was buried in a new tomb belonging to Joseph of Arimathea. A large stone was rolled across the entrance, and at the request of the religious leaders, Pilate ordered the tomb to be sealed and guarded by Roman soldiers to prevent any attempt to steal the body. Saturday was a day of profound silence and grief for his followers, who believed their hopes had died with him. Part 4. The Resurrection Power. On the first day of the week, as the sun began to rise, the silence was shattered by the greatest miracle in history, the empty tomb. Mary Magdalene and other women went to the tomb to anoint the body, only to find the stone rolled away and the tomb empty. An angel announced the revolutionary news. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said. The power of the resurrection. The resurrection was not merely a resuscitation of a dead body. It was the inauguration of a new creation. The power of his resurrection represents several key theological truths. First, victory over death. It proved that death, the last enemy, had been defeated. Second, validation of identity. It confirmed that Jesus was indeed the Son of God and that his sacrifice was accepted by the Father. Third, hope for humanity. It serves as the firstfruits, promising that those who believe in him will also be raised to eternal life. Post-resurrection appearances. For 40 days, the risen Jesus appeared to his disciples and hundreds of others, eating with them, teaching them, and showing them his scars to prove his physical reality. These encounters transformed a group of hiding, fearful disciples into bold witnesses who would eventually change the world. The story of the crucifixion and resurrection is not just a historical account. It is the foundation of the Christian faith. It declares that no matter how dark the Friday of human suffering may be, the Sunday of resurrection power is the final word.